Pharisees and their Essenes. You say it was never about state. It was always about religion. It was never about state law. So when Paul is condemning the law and saying how Jesus of Nazareth has basically proven the law wrong or abolished the law, what he's talking about is the legal system. The legal system has been abolished and has been proven wrong. What is true is not a legal system. It's a religion which is true. That's what Paul is saying again and again. And he's saying you don't have to get circumcised and keep all the law in order to become somebody who gets a benefit from this religion. If you want to go down the path of getting that legal system, then okay, look, all that's waiting for you is death. Because under that legal system, all that anybody has to do is hang your body on a tree and you're accursed. But he knows that he's speaking to some people who couldn't care less about what's going to happen to them after they die because they don't care. All they want is a little bit of money right now, a little bit of social security, a little bit of benefits. That's all they want. A passport. So that's who Paul is talking to. Now, there's another, as I said at the beginning of this, I said there are two ways of approaching it. I've explained one way, which is the legalistic way completely. But the other way is this, that there were people who were superstitious and they were aware that the Jewish state under the Roman Federation was coming to a period of time which was the fulfillment of Daniel's weeks. And they felt that at the fulfillment of Daniel's weeks, as was preached all the time, the Messianic era would be imposed upon the world, and everybody who wasn't essentially a believer in that religion would basically suffer. And the superstitious people who were wanting to hedge their bets and were like, well, I've heard about that, and what if it's true? Okay, very simple sort of Pascal's wager. What if it's true? Well, if it's not true, we'll be losers. But if it is true, if it's not true, nothing will happen. But if it is true, we'll be losers if we're not one of them. And what does it harm us to be one of them? You know, if it's not true, it doesn't harm us to be one of them. If it's true, we benefit from being one of them. Therefore, Pascal's wager sort of scenario, this is not invented by Pascal. This is just a name we've given to it, all right? Very simple. It makes more sense to be one of them than not one of them, just in case it turns out to be true. So many of these people were thinking, all right, then how do we get converted to become Jewish then? What do we do? Get circumcised and keep the laws. All right, we'll do that as well, just in case, because Daniel's weeks are about to be fulfilled, and they were fulfilled. In Jewish tradition, we say that they were completed in the year 70 with the destruction of the temple. That was it. Daniel's weeks have been completed. That prophecy has been fulfilled. From then on until now, we are living under the wicked kingdom, and we don't know how long it's going to be until the Messiah comes to destroy the wicked kingdom. Okay? You're thinking, but wait a second, doesn't Daniel's weeks mention Messiah? And yes, that Messiah was understood to be Herod Agrippa II in the Jewish tradition. Not the Messiah, but a Messiah who did something good. And what did he do? He actually brought the New Testament to the world. Because it was Herod Agrippa II who brought the New Testament to the world according to the Jewish tradition, according to Telia, as mentioned by Rashi. So that's all been fulfilled. But what we're waiting for is the end of the wicked kingdom, which has been going on for almost 2,000 years now. But that was never understood, that this wicked kingdom would last nearly 2,000 years. So people thought that there would be maybe a literal week of trouble of the wicked kingdom, or maybe a symbolic week of years, 7 years, and then the Messianic era would begin, and it wouldn't be any harm to be a Jew in that time. Well, this was a very flawed misunderstanding of the interpretation of these passages, because the correct understanding of these passages is that those people who flood the Jewish religion trying to convert in the last days, when that happens, will end up being destroyed if their faith was not sincere. They will be put through the fire of a test of faith. And if their faith was true, then they will survive. But if their faith was not true, then they will be destroyed. So it doesn't do any good to be a fake convert to Judaism just to hedge your bets on a Pascal's wager. That's not good enough. That's not going to help you out. Unless your faith is true, then you will be destroyed. So Paul is saying to them all, basically, you don't want to convert to Judaism unless you're converting to Judaism for the right reasons. Okay, to get circumcised and keep all the law is not going to help you out. It's rubbish. Okay, you don't want to just get circumcised and keep the law. What you want to do is understand the faith and embrace the faith, and then you'll get all the rewards which are promised to you. But if you think that you can put your faith in the law, in the legal system, then you're greatly mistaken. And in fact, you will be put through the fire, and if your faith is found lacking, you'll be destroyed. That's what Paul's trying to say again and again and again. And he uses the example of Jesus Christ's resurrection from the dead to show people that putting your faith in a legal system is invalid anyway, because the whole legal system has been proven to be fallacious by the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth, who was a righteous man who was hung on a tree, and according to the legal system is therefore accursed. But he came back to life. So what does that say about the legal system? It says it's fake, it's bogus, it doesn't work. The only true way of understanding God's law is as a religion, not as a legal system. And that's all there is to it. Okay, Fuzznut's still with us. If you want to unmute your mic, if you can come join us again. And you can make a comment on what you've heard. I see